Hello everybody, it's John Johnston with Corn Nation, here for your Nebraska versus Illinois preview and prediction. Brett Bielema is back in the Big Ten, and he is the now Illinois coach after spending time as an NFL position coach. Previous to that, he was at Arkansas, where he really didn't do much of anything. And then previous to that, we know him as the Wisconsin head coach who kicked our ass in the Big Ten championship game a few years ago, 70-31. Defensive genius Bo Pelini couldn't figure out how to defend against a jet sweep because he wasn't prepared for it. And now he's at Illinois, getting ready to start the 2021 season against our beloved Huskers. What do we know about Illinois? We know damn near nothing because BERT has done a good job of keeping everything under wraps. Scott Frost has not released a depth chart, and that's probably because Brett Bielema hasn't released a depth chart either. We know that Illinois has a whole bunch of super seniors, and that keeps getting touted. It's giving them an advantage. If you remember last season, Illinois did embarrass us, and in a game that was, quite frankly, pretty terrible for Nebraska. We were -5 in turnovers. Dylan McCaffrey's brother threw 3 interceptions and I think had a fumble. And there was that play that was a 4th down fake punt, except it really kind of wasn't a fake punt. It was the punter looking up and seeing absolutely nobody covering the 20 yards in front of him, so he wandered back and forth kind of like a drunk guy trying to make a decision as to whether or not to run. You know, that kind of stuff can't happen this season if we're going to have a good season. The negative 5 turnovers, you can't do that and be good and win games. We know that. Illinois has Brandon Peters returning as a quarterback. He's a pretty experienced quarterback. Their running game last year was very solid. They'll have Chase Brown, Mike Epstein, and a 4-star recruit in Reggie Love. They were 3rd in the Big Ten in rushing last season. And I would expect to see that again from them. I mean, Bert's kind of a guy who likes to run the ball, and I don't think he's going to replicate completely what he had at Wisconsin. But you know that the Big Ten is about running the ball on the ground, and Bert's kind of that guy too. Where Illinois is going to have problems is their defense. You know, super seniors or not, those are the same seniors that got Lovie Smith terminated. So they were last in the Big Ten last season in total defense and rushing defense. And they do have Jake Hansen, who was second team all Big Ten as a linebacker. But, you know, Nebraska should be able to put up points, and we're going to get to that in a minute. What do we know about Nebraska coming into this game? Well, I mentioned we don't have a depth chart. We know who the starting quarterback is going to be. We can guess at a lot of the rest. We have 3 running backs who are in the mix to be the starter, and we've been told that our offense is going to feature one of those backs for 20 to 25 carries a game. So it sounds like they're looking for a feature guy, and we'll see who he is Saturday. Receivers, we don't know who the starters are. Again, no depth chart. Is it going to be Omar Manning, Samari Torre, Oliver Martin? You know, is Austin Allen going to be good to go? Is Travis Vokalek going to be good to go at the tight end position? I think a lot of this is going to ride on our offense, okay? We need to score 40 points a game. I've said that in the past, and I'll continue to say it. And I expect it from Scott Frost's offense. I don't care if it's this Lubick guy calling the plays. Scott Frost's fingerprints are all over this offense. That means tons of scoring. I don't care who we're playing. Make excuses for whatever defense. Illinois' defense was a problem last year, should be a problem this year. Again, I mentioned the super seniors that got Lovie Smith terminated. They're moving to a 3-4, it looks like. They'll have a new scheme, new coaches. And unless these guys are incredible educators, they're not going to be ready. So we should be able to get out there and not have any turnovers. Obviously, that's a big problem for us in God knows how many years now. Limit our mistakes. That means no drive-killing penalties. 40 points with some explosive plays. And look crisp doing this, okay? That's a key for this game, I think. I think we're going to be able to watch this game and determine, what's this Nebraska team going to be about for the 2021 season. I know we get into this talent stuff, and talent does not matter right now. Nebraska has talent. They have talent across the board. They have more talent than Big Ten West. There's no reason for them to be losing games and not going to a bowl game. All right? What we saw last year against Illinois was a team that wasn't ready to play, didn't really give a shit. Our defense looked like, they didn't look drunk. They looked like they thought the game was going to start 3 hours after it did. It was horrifying and it was embarrassing. And this isn't about being competent. This is about having your head screwed on in the right place. And that's where this game needs to show us that Nebraska has their heads screwed on. Because that mentality isn't any different than you going to your job on a daily basis. I have to believe that most of you watching this are competent human beings. You do your jobs reasonably well. You're capable of doing your jobs. But when you show up to work on some day where you got out of bed wrong, or you got a bad attitude, or you don't want to be there, you probably don't do your job worth a shit. And that's exactly what's wrong with this Nebraska football team. It's not about they're not ready. It's not about the offense being too complex. It's about, hi, I want to be here, and I know what to do, and I'm ready to play. Get your mind on straight. Last year, what we saw was a team, the last few years, honestly, what we've seen is a team that can't get over its own mistakes. They can't work past them. We've seen Minnesota run over this team, beat them to death, and grind them into the ground. Last year, we saw them play against Illinois, couldn't overcome mistakes. Why? No mental toughness, no resilience. That's what this game is about. And God help us if we lose. Because we're probably just might as well shit can the rest of the season if we lose this game. This is a big, huge game for Scott Frost. And us as Nebraska fans. Because I think, quite frankly, we're going to lose a majority of our fan base if we lose this game. Because this month marks my 15th year running Corn Nation. And I have never seen such apathy from our fan base as I do right now. And I've heard from people that, I don't care, whatever. I hope we win. But they're not excited. So any problems with this game, I hate to see the fallout. What's going to happen in this game? I expect 40 points out of Nebraska's offense. I really do. So let's say they're going to have 6 touchdowns, 42 points. That's what I expect them to do. However, we're going to have 2 turnovers. So we're going to take away 14 points from that. That makes it 28. We're going to have 2 Connor Cope field goals because that's what he does. That'll make it, math, 34. What's going to go on with Illinois? So Nebraska's going to score 34 points. What's going to happen with Illinois? Well, I think they're going to be able to run the ball decently. I think they're going to score, let's give them 17 points from a kicker and 2 touchdowns. And we had those 2 turnovers, but that's potentially 2 more touchdowns. 17 and 14, 31. What the hell? I wanted to say 45-13. I think this is going to be a much closer game than anybody expects it is. I don't bet on these things because I'm not betting on what 18 to 21-year-old young men will do any given day of the week. I only bet on myself. There's some life advice for you. But now, we can make this a hell of a game if we don't turn the ball over, like I mentioned earlier. But I just made this up as I went. 34-31, it's a Nebraska win. I really hope to God it's not that close because I have tried to keep myself from getting excited. And the reason why is because I know I'm going to get anxious. Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m., my heart rate is probably going to be in the 140 range. That's not really a healthy resting heart rate for me. Let's hope that Nebraska makes it a ass-kicking and we don't have to worry, and we can see a backup quarterback actually coming into the game and play. All right, that's been it. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Go Big Red.